Morning, Acharya ji.
Good morning, Acharya.
ॐ
सदाशिवसमारम्भाम्
सदाशिवसमारम्भां
शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्ताम् वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्
ॐ
ॐ
सहनाववतु
सहनावतु
सहनौ सह
सहनौ
वीर्यं
भुनक्तु
करवावहै
वीर्यङ्करवावहै
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा
तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा
ॐ
विद्विषावहै
शान्तिः. So we will continue with where we left off. We are on the 12th section of the third chapter. That is mantra number 3, 12, 1. So we'll first 5 mantras we'll chant. So please unmute yourself. This is chapter 3, section 12. 3:12. Gayatri vaidam sarvam bhutam.
गायत्री वा इदं सर्वं भूतम्
Idam kincha vagvai gayatri.
यदिदं किञ्च वाग्वै गायत्री
Vagva idam sarvam bhutam gayati.
स्वाग्वा इदं सर्वं भूतं गायति
Chatrayate cha.
क्षुद्रायते च
Yo vai sa gayatrim vavasa.
को वै सा गायत्री भावसा
Yeyam prithvi asyam hi idam sarvam bhutam.
येयं पृथिवी यस्याम् इदं सर्वम्
Pratishthitam etameva.
प्रतिष्ठितमेतमेव
Atishiyate.
नातिशीयते
या वै सा पृथिवी इयं वाव
या वै सा पृथिवीयं वाव
सा यदिदम् अस्मिन् पुरुषे शरीरम्
सा यदिदम् अस्मिन् पुरुषे शरीरम्
अस्मिन् हि इमे प्राणाः
अस्मिन् हि मे प्राणाः
प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव न अतिशीयन्ते
प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते
यद्वै तत्पुरुषे शरीरम्
यद्वै तत्पुरुषे शरीरम्
इदं वाव तत् यदस्मिन् अनन्तः
इदं वाव तद्यदस्मिन्नन्तः
पुरुषे हृदयम् अस्मिन् हि
पुरुषे हृदयम् अस्मिन् हि
इमे प्राणा
इमे प्राणा
प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव न अतिशीयन्ते
प्रतिष्ठिता एतदेव नातिशीयन्ते
सैषा चतुष्पदा षड्विधा गायत्री
सैषा चतुष्पदा गायत्री
तदेतद्रचाभ्यनुक्तम्
तदेतद्यचाभ्यन्तम्
So another upasana, and it's again of Brahman only. Brahma upasana it is, but in the form of Gayatri. Right? So here Shankara adds a commentary saying that even though Nirguna Brahman is to be understood through teaching, through listening to the Shastra, not everybody is qualified for that teaching, for the understanding. And for such people, the Upasaka and the Upasyam have to be different. And that is why Nirguna Brahman cannot be taught. You know, because in trying to make you understand Nirguna Brahman, what do? You only negate those things which are not Brahman. And this goes against the normal method of understanding, which is what? To reduce everything to a object of our sense organs or of our mind. And therefore, when Shruti talks about Brahman, when the Veda talks about Brahman, what happens? We try to understand that Brahman as something different from us by reducing it to an object. Such a person who is doing this is not a adhikari. And for this person who is a non-adhikari, a non-qualified student, because he is not able to understand that Brahman is not to be tried to be understood as an object different from you. So for such a non-qualified student, Shruti offers an alternative, Upasana. You do Avahana, invocation of Nirugana Brahma on an object. Okay. Here, remember that when I am saying that I should invoke Brahman on an object, Nirguna Brahman on a Saguna object, what is actually happening? It's really a compromise. Because ultimately, everything is, the adharam for everything is what? Nirguna Brahman only. And even if you say that I am going to, invoke Nirguna Brahman on, say, or Nirguna Shiva on, say, Shiva Linga, what you are really doing is this Saguna Shiva Linga, you are basically placing it on Nirguna Brahman because Nirguna Brahman is the Adhishthanam for everything, is the substratum for everything. But for the limited purpose of this Upasana, you are reversing this advanced student view and superimposing or invoking Nirguna Brahman on Saguna Linga. You understand what I'm saying? We had this discussion in the group also.
Yes, yes.
Right. So this is a very important idea that when you do upasana from the point of view of the upasaka who is not a jnani, you are really imposing, superimposing or invoking Nirguna Brahman on a Saguna Alambana. But from the jnani's point of view, from the advanced student's point of view, there is no such thing as superimposing Nirguna on Saguna because Saguna is, even for Saguna, the basis is Nirguna only. And ultimately, everything is finally resting on Nirguna. But for the purpose of the Upasana, we are doing this reversal. And here, what is the symbol? The symbol is Pratika. Pratika means the object, the idol on which on which I am superimposing or on which I am invoking Nirguna Brahman. And here that word is Gayatri, right? That Pratikam is Gayatri. And on this Gayatri, you are invoking Nirguna Brahman. And therefore, you are taking this Gayatri itself as Nirguna Brahman. You are visualizing Gayatri as Nirguna Brahma. That is the purpose of Anupasana. The object, the Alambanam, is visualized as the deity which is invoked on the Alambana. And here the Pratikam is Gayatri. On the Gayatri, you are invoking Nirguna Brahman. So Gayatri itself is to be taken as Nirguna Brahman. Okay. Now, remember, actually speaking, what is Gayatri?
A chandas, actually, a
It is a
meter.
chandas. Okay, it's a meter. Like you have Anushtuk Chanda, you have Trishtuk Chanda, and you have Gayatri Chanda also. Gayatri is actually a meter. But Gayatri is loosely used for what? For Savitri mantra. Savitri mantra, which is for worshipping Surya Deva, that is Savita Devaha, Surya Devaha, is in the Gayatri Chanda, and therefore it is called Gayatri also. But basically, it's Savitri mantra. And now Nirguna Brahman will be invoked on this Gayatri Chanda, and you will be doing Upasana. Okay, normally Gayatri meter, the Chanda has 3 lines of 8 syllables each. So 3 into 8 is 24. But in this mantra, there's a different context. So they say Saisha Chatushpada Shadvida Gayatri. So Gayatri is taken as Chatushpadaha, 4 lines of Shadvida, of 6 syllables each. Okay. 4 into 6 is how much? 24. The original Gayatri mantra also is 3 into 8, 20. Okay. That is the equation. And because this is being done, this Upasana is given a separate name and called Chatushpada Gayatri Upasana because it is basically the whole thing is broken up into 4 lines, and each line has 6 syllables, 6 padas. So on this Chatushpada Gayatri Chanda, we are going to invoke Chatushpada Brahman. Chatushpada Brahman we have seen. What is Chatushpada Brahman? Or where did you see Chatushpada Brahman? Mandukya. So Mandukya Chatushpada has, there are 3 ways of looking at 2 ways of looking at it. It can be the Omkara with the silence, so Uma plus the silence, or it can be the Virat and other 3 with the silence. Okay, or it can be either of them. So now we are saying that this, let us say it's a Shivlinga on which we are invoking. We are saying the Shivlinga is Sarvam. But remember that Shivlinga is only a stone. How does it become Sarvam? Because Brahman is invoked. The Brahman, which is Sarvatmakam, is being invoked on this Shivalinga. So you say Shivalinga is everything. So here also you are saying Gayatri va idam sarvam. This Gayatri itself is everything. Gayatri is only Chanda, right? But because Nirguna Brahman is being invoked, you are saying Gayatri is everything. So this is the one type of meditation. Brahman as Sarvatmakam, Gayatri as Sarvatmakam, everything. Gayatri is the entire universe. Okay. Now, Brahman also has another role. Not only is Brahman the whole universe, but Brahman is also said to be the supporter of the universe, Adhishthanam of the universe. And therefore, Gayatri can also be meditated upon as the supporter of the whole universe. And for this purpose, we visualize, when you're doing this upasana, you are visualizing each of the padas as one entity. Now, for example, Prithvi or Vak. The first pada is Vak, right? The second pada is Prithvi. The third pada is Shariram. The fourth pada is Hridayam. These are the 4 aspects of Gayatri that are being visualized. Vak, Prithvi, Shariram, Hridayam. And therefore, in these 4 forms, Gayatri as Vak protects the world. Gayatri as Prithvi protects the world. Gayatri as Shariram protects the world. Gayatri as Hridayam protects the world. In all these 4 forms, this Gayatri, it protects the world. Remember, Gayatri is now Sarvam because Nirguna Brahman has been invoked. And why are these 4 items being taken? Vak is, how do you say Vak is the supporter of all? Right? Vak is speech. Right? So, for example, when you are trying to comfort somebody, do not worry. What are you doing? You are using Vak support. Parents support children through words all the time. Guru protects the students how? Through Shabda only, through words only. And that is how Gayatri gets the name. Gayatri. Ganat, Pranat. So Gana means talking, not singing in this case, in this context. Ganat, Tranat. That which protects through talking, through speech. That is Gayatri. And since it protects everything, Vak Rupa Gayatri, the form of Gayatri, in the form of Vak, that Gayatri mantra, that from Nirguna Brahman, he protects everything. The second aspect is Prithvi. So Prithvi supports plants, animals, rivers, mountains, everything. So Nirguna Brahman as Gayatri in the form of Prithvi supports everything. Similarly, Sharira, you come down to the body. Body supports all your organs, all your activities. And similarly, Hridayam. Hridayam supports Prana and Antakaranam. Why? Because Hridayam is the Golakam for all the Indriyas. So in these four forms, Gayatri supports the entire creation. Right? So just as Brahman is the support of the world, and therefore this Brahman is being invoked on Chatushpada Gayatri, this Upasana is to be done in this manner. And it says Sadetat Prichyabhya Nukta. To glorify the Gayatri, a ring mantra is being quoted. Now we look at the sixth mantra we will chant. Tavanasya mahima tato jyayascha purushah
तावनस्य महिमा
महिमा
ततो
ततो
ज्यायश्च
जयायांश
पुरुषः
पादो अस्य सर्वभूतानि
पादोऽस्य सर्वाभूतानि
त्रिपादस्यामृतम्
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 त्रिपादस्यामृतम् दीवीति
त्रिपादस्यामृतं
कृपादस्यामृतं
दीव्यति.
दीविति
So this is the glorification. It says Tavan Asya Mahima. All this is the glory. Asya is Manasya. So Tavanasya Mahima. All this is the glory of Brahman. All this what everything that you see is the glory of Brahman. And we saw this in Bhagavad Gita also. Yat yat vibhutimat sattvam Srimat Urjitam evava tat tat eva gachatvam mama tejomsha sambhavam. 10th chapter, last verse we saw this. Okay, now the question is, when he says Tavanas, all this that is there is the glory of Brahman. Is that all? Or is there more to it? Is the universe the glory of Brahman only? Or is there more than the universe? What is the answer? You have to remember 10th chapter. What does it say? You have forgotten. Okay. Now look at the words here. Tato jyayamscha purusha. There is also nirguna glory, which is jyayam. Jyayam means superior to, which is superior. And therefore this universe is there as a glory. Then there is also the nirguna Brahman, which is superior to saguna Brahman. That is also a glory. And what about the other question? Is the universe all that is there? So he says, Asya pada sarva bhutani. Pado asya sarva bhutani. All the bhutanis. That means all the Saguna Brahman part of it. Bhutani refers to all living beings. Altogether, it's living and non-living beings. Okay, so altogether that is what Saguna Brahman. Therefore, Asya sarva bhutani padaha. Of this Nirguna Brahman, Saguna Brahman is only a part. Why? Because Saguna Brahman is mithya. Therefore, we can say it's a part, but Nirguna Brahman is partless. Right? Mithya can never really be part of Satyam because it is dependent upon Satyam. And then he says, Tripada Asya Amritam Divati. So this one pada, one quarter of the whole universe is Saguna Brahman, of the whole Nirguna Brahman is Saguna Brahman. And Tripada Asya Amritam Divati. The other three quarters are Nirguna Brahman. So Divi has to be taken as something beyond Sarga. Divi, normally the meaning of Divi is Swarga, right? But here it is not Swarga, it is beyond Saguna Brahman. That where Saguna Brahman ends, Nirguna Brahman is all still there. Saguna Brahman is, of course, Mithya and dependent upon Nirguna Brahman. But Saguna Brahman is finite and Nirguna Brahman is infinite. And this is the meaning we should give when we use the word part. Though we often say 1/4 is Saguna Brahman and 3/4 is Nirguna Brahman, you should take it as the moment you say 1/4 and 3/4, you're going to make it finite. Therefore, the whole meaning you have to take as Brahman is infinite and Saguna is finite and is a very small part of Nirguna Brahman. This we have seen in Bhagavad Gita. I'm surprised you guys don't remember it.
Ekamshena.
Ekamshena, exactly. Right? The Ekamsha is that is being taken from this particular month. Oh, somebody's talking again. Request you guys not to talk in the house because it disturbs the recording. Okay, now we are still on chapter 12. We look at the mantra 7 to 9. Third chapter, 12th section, mantra 7 to 9. So we will chant. Please unmute yourself. Yadvai tad brahmetidam
Yadvai tat
Brahmetidam
vavatadyoyam
Vavatavyam
bahirta purushadakasho
Bahirda Purushadakasho
yo vai sa bahirda purushadakashaha
Yo Vai Sa Bahirda Purushadakashaha
ayam vavasa yoyam antapurushaha
Ayam Vavasa
Vavasayoam
Yom
antah purushaha
Purushaha
akasho yo vai sa antapurusha akashaha
Akasho yo
Akasho
vaisontah
Vaiso
purusha akashaha
Antapurusha
ayam vavasa yoyam antahridayaha
Ayam
Ayam Vavasa
vavasayoyam
Yoyam
antarhridayaha
Antahridaya
akashaha
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 tadetat purnam apravrittim purnam
Tetat
Avetat
purnam
Purnam Pravritti
apramartit
Purnam
purnam
apravrittirnim shriyam labate
Apravartnigam
Apravartini
shriyam
Shriyam
labhate
Labhate
ye evam veda.
Ya evam
Evam
veda
Veda
The mantra is saying here that it is the heart, the hridayam, which is the alambana for this upasana. How? Now, Jagat has three parts, right? Sthula prapanchaha, sukshma prapanchaha, and karana prapanchaha. Sthula prapancha is supported by Brahman. And what is the name of that Brahman which is supporting Sthula prapancha?
Virat.
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 Similarly, Sukshma Prapancha is supported by Hiranyagarbha and Karana Prapancha is supported by Antaryami. Okay. Now, when Pralayam comes, what happens? Virat dissolves into Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha.
Hiranyagarbha dissolves into Antaryami, the universal Karana Shariram. And therefore, the entire creation on Pralayam is in Karanavastha, which we call Antaryami. The other name is Ishvara. Right? Though Ishvara can be used, the word can be used for Virat Ishvara also, and Hiranyagarbha Ishvara also. When it is used in isolation, normally it means Antaryami Ishvara. So if you want to know the meaning of Ishvara, you have to look at the context. There is no one meaning. So this is at the Samashti level. What about the Vyashti level? It's the same. The three avasthas are taken as the corresponding events in Vyashti. So in Jagrat avastha, Jiva experiences the Sthula Prapancha, which is backed by Virat. In Swapnavastha, he experiences the Sukshma Prapancha, backed up by Hiranyagarbha. And here what has happened? The Hiranyagarbha is there. Virat is not there. Therefore, Virat has been resolved into Hiranyagarbha. And similarly, during Sushupti, he experiences Karma Shariram, Antaryami. Neither the Jagrat nor the Swapna is being experienced. So, with the same logic, we are saying that Virat has resolved into Hiranyagarbha. Hiranyagarbha has resolved into Samashti Karanam. And that is what is being now experienced. Sushupti. Okay. So, this he says over here, Ahar Ahaha Brahma Gamayati, says Sankara. Every day, Ahar Ahaha, every day, Brahma Gamayati. A person goes to Lord Brahmaji, Hiranyagarbha. And therefore, these three are compared to three types of space, Akashaha. So there is Bahihi Akashaha. If you look at the mantra, Bahir Akashaha. The entire Jagat Prapancha is being supported by what? External space, Bahir Akashaha. And we also said entire Jagat Prapancha is being supported by Virat. Therefore, here, Bahirakashaha, the external space, is being compared to whom? To Virat. Right. Then you have Sharira Akashaha. What is Sharira Akashaha?
Space within me.
Space
Within the
occupied by the
body.
body, right? Within the
The
body.
heart space.
Therefore, not heart space. Heart space is different.
Body.
In this mantra, heart space is given a different name. Right? It's called Hridaya Akashaha. Here we are saying Sharira Akashaha, the space inside the body. Remember that your dream, the Swapna Prapancha, is not outside your physical body. It is in the body. This is being mentioned here. The body, the space in the body is the supporter of Swapna Prapancha. And therefore, since Hiranyagarbha also supports Swapna Prapancha, Hiranyagarbha is compared to what? Sharira Akasha, the space occupied by the body or inside the body. The third one is Hridaya Akasha. During Sushupti, if you recall Tatvabodha, all Indriyas, including the mind, are said to resolve in Hridaya. Right? Now, Karana Prapancha, therefore, is the Hridaya Akasha. Because everything resolves into Hridayam, into the Akasha in the Hridayam. So that Akasha is being compared to Karana Prapancha. And similarly, since Antaryami supports Karana Prapancha, this Hridaya Akasha is being compared to Karana Prapancha. Ishvara is being compared to Hridaya Akasha. Now, Shankara in his note adds, in his commentary adds that of all the three, which three? Virat, Hiranyagarbha, and Antaryami. Only Antaryami is Shuddha, is pure. Why? Because it is not polluted by salt. What is the logic? You have to use the logic of the Jiva. It's pretty simple, right?
There are no
Arun Sharif has
interactions
no.
or any. Sorry, go ahead.
In Jagratavastha, do you have Dukham?
Yes, there are no interactions at that stage.
Sapnavastha, do you have Dukham?
Yes, yes.
So Shupti Avastha, do you have Dukham?
Uh,
Yes or no?
No.
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 Because the mind is not there.
No, there is
How
no.
can you have Dukham? Right? And therefore, Sushupti is always free of Dukham. And here we are comparing what? Hridaya Akasha, Sushupti to Antaryami. Therefore, Shankara says Antaryami alone is pure because it is free from Dukham. And that is the reason when you meditate, you should take Hridaya Akasha for meditation. So meditate upon Ishvara invoked on Hridaya Akasha. Right? So later on we will see that this Hridaya Akasha is called Dahara Akasha. Special name. Dahara Akasha. The Dahara Vidya we will see later in the Vedantic aspect. But here just note this much, that this is the name given to Hridaya Akasha, Dahara Akasha. And therefore Gayatri Upasana should be done in Dahara Akasha as the alam. Right? So the mantra is saying that even though Ishvara is said to be invoked in Hridaya Akasha, that is Dahara Akasha, you should not say that Ishvara is in the Dahara Akasha. What should we say?
It's also.
He is also in the Akasha, because he's all pervading, right? So, in our understanding, that Ishvara is recognizable. We can recognize Ishvara, that consciousness principle, we can recognize where? In the mind. Mind is the golakam of the mind is Hridaya, therefore Hridaya Akasha. So it's called Upalabdhi Sthanam in Sanskrit. He is also there. Not that he's sitting there. He is also there. And the mantra itself says, Apravarti Purna. That Brahman is not limited by the heart. And Apravarti means not subject to activity, not subject to change. Therefore, Purnam Apravartihi, he is not limited. Not only that, Purnam Apravartinim Shriyam Lavate. This is Upasana Phalam. Purnam Shriyam Lavate. He will get plenty of wealth. And here also the word apravartinim is there. Here apravartinim has to be taken as no activity will be there. And in context to the wealth, so Purnam Shriyam Lavate, he gets plenty of wealth. What does apravartinim here mean? That the wealth will not get up and walk away. There is no activity for that wealth. It will remain with you. So this is the Ihaloka Phalam. Right? What is Paraloka Phalam? It's not given here, but you should know. What is Paraloka Phalam for Upasana?
Chitta ekagrata or chitta shuddhi.
In this case, he will travel to Brahmaloka and he will
Okay.
get Kramamukti.
Kramam.
Okay. Right. Now we will look at the 13th section, Trayodasha Khandaha. So there are 6 mantras. We'll just chant them all. Tasya hava etasya
तस्य हवा एतस्य
hridayasya devasushayah
हृदयस्य पञ्चदेवसुषयः
देवसुषयः
so yo yasya prangsushi
सोऽयोऽस्य
यस्य
प्रांशुषि
प्रांशुषि
sa pranastachakshuhu
स प्राणस्तचक्षुः
प्राणस्तचक्षुः
sa adityah
स
स
आदित्यः
आदित्यः
tadetat
तदेतत्तत्तेजः
एतत्तच्चः
annadyam ityupasita
अन्नाद्यम् इत्युपासीत
उपासीत
tejasvi annado bhavati
तेजस्वी अन्नादो
तेजस्विन्नादो
भवति
भवति
ya evam veda
य
य
एवं वेद
एवं वेद
अथयो यस्य दक्षिणसुषिः
यो यस्य दक्षिणसुषिः
सव्यानः
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 तच्छोत्रं स चन्द्रमाः
तच्छोत्रं स
तच्छोत्रं च
चन्द्रमाः
चन्द्रमाः
तदेतच्छ्रियश्च
तदेतच्छ्रीश्च
तदेतच्छ्रियश्च
यश्चेत्युपासीत
यशश्चेत्युपासीत
यश्चेत्युपासीत
श्रीमान् यशस्वी भवति
श्रीमान्
श्रीमान्
यशस्वी
यशस्वी
भवति
भवति
य एवं वेद
य एवं वेद
वेद
अथ यो यस्य प्रत्यंशुषि
अथ यो
यो
अस्य
यस्य
प्रत्यंशुषिः
प्रत्यंशुषि
स अपानः
स अपानः
अपानः
सा वाक्यः
सा
वाक्यः
वाक्यः
साग्निः
अग्निः
सा अग्निः
वा अग्निः
तदेतद् ब्रह्म वर्चसम् अन्नाद्यम् इत्युपासीत तदेतद् ब्रह्म वर्चसम् अन्नाद्यम् इत्युपासीत
उपासित
ब्रह्म वर्चस्यान्नादो भवति
ब्रह्मवर्चस्यान्नादो
ब्रह्मवर्चस्सन्नादो
भवति
भवति
य एवं वेद
य
य
एवं
एवं
वेद
वेद
अतो यो यस्य उदं सुषिः sorry, अतो यो यस्य उदं सुषिः
अथो यो अस्य
य
उदं
अदं
सुषिः
सुषिः
स समानस्तन्मनः
स समानस्तन्मनः
समानस्तन्मनः
सपर्जन्यः
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 तदेतत् कीर्तिश्च
तदेतत्
तदेतत्
कीर्तिश्च
कीर्तिश्च
विष्टिश्चेत्युपासीत
व्युष्टिश्चेत्युपासीत
व्युष्टिश्चेत्युपासीत
कीर्तिमान् व्यष्टिमान् मान् भवति
कीर्तिमान्
कीर्तिमान्
व्युष्टिमान् भवति
पुष्टिमान् भवति
य एवं वेद
य
य
एवं
एवं
वेद
वेद
अथ यो यस्य ऊर्ध्वं शुचिः
अथ यो
अथयो
अस्य
यस्य
ऊर्ध्वं
ऊर्ध्वं
सुषिः
शुचिः
स उदानः
स
स
उदानः
उदानः
स वायुः स आकाशः
स
स
वायुः स
वायुः स
आकाशः
आकाशः
तदेतद्दोश्च
तदेतदोजश्च
तदेतदोश्च
महश्चेदुपासीत
महश्चेत्युपासीत
महश्चेत्युपासीत
ओजस्वी महस्वान् भवति
ओजस्वी
ओजस्वी
महस्वान् भवति
महस्वान् भवति
य एवं वेद
य
य
एवं
एवं
वेद
वेद
ते वा एते पञ्चब्रह्मपुरुषः
ते वा एते
देवायेते
पञ्चब्रह्मपुरुषाः
पञ्चब्रह्मपुरुषः
स्वर्गस्य लोकस्य
स्वर्गस्य
स्वर्गस्य
लोकस्य
लोकस्य
द्वारपाः
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 स ये एतानेवं पञ्च
स
स
ये
य एतानेवं
एवानेतं
पञ्च
पञ्च
ब्रह्मपुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य
ब्रह्मपुरुषान्
ब्रह्मपुरुषान्
स्वर्गस्य
स्वर्गस्य
लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद
लोकस्य
लोकस्य द्वारपान्
द्वारपान्
वेद
वेद
कुले वीरो जायते प्रतिपद्यते
अस्य
कुले
कुले वीरो
वीरो
जायते
जायते
प्रतिपद्यते
प्रतिपद्यते
स्वर्गं लोकं य एतानेवं
स्वर्गं
स्वर्गं
लोकं
लोकं य
य
एतानेवं
एतानेव
पुरुषान् स्वर्गस्य
पञ्चब्रह्मपुरुषान्
पञ्चब्रह्मपुरुषान्
स्वर्गस्य
स्वर्गस्य
लोकस्य द्वारपान् वेद
लोकस्य
लोकस्य
द्वारपान्
द्वारपान्
वेद
वेद
long mantras. So another upasana. So in the last section we saw that Ishvara was invoked in Hridaya Akasha. So Karna Shariram Vishishta Ishvara it is called. Ishvara invoked in the Karna Shariram. And this Hridaya Akasha, therefore, is the place where Ishvara is found. And again, whenever I am saying Ishvara is found, you have to mentally adjust to Ishvara is also found or Ishvara is recognizable. Because Ishvara is all pervading that we cannot forget. But since he is recognizable in the Hridaya Akasha, the Hridaya is called the place where Hiranyagarbha is found. Where is the place where Hiranyagarbha is found normally?
सूक्ष्म शरीर
What is another name for Hiranyagarbha?
विराट
How can you say Virat is Hiranyagarbha? No, of course not.
न समष्टि प्रपञ्च
Samashti Prapancha. What is the other name?
Sukshma.
The common name when you worship him.
Brahmaji.
Brahmaji. So where is Brahmaji
Brahmaji.
found normally?
Loka.
Where?
Brahmaloka.
Brahmaloka. Right. So if you want to write to Brahmaji, you have to address it by Brahmaloka. And therefore, since Brahmaloka is the residence of Brahmaji, and here you are saying that Hridaya is the residence of Brahmaji, this Hridaya is called Brahmaloka. Okay. Now, Shastra, remember, says that you go daily to Brahmaloka. Every day you go to Brahmaloka. When? During Sushupti Avastha. And that is why you enjoy a sense of freedom during Sushupti Avastha because you don't have any problems at all. And therefore, the benefit of this Upasana was said to be Brahmaloka Prapti. This is all previous Khanda. Okay, I'm talking about previous section. There we said that Nirguna Brahman was invoked in your heart, Hridaya Akashaha. And Hridaya Akashaha is Brahmaloka. And therefore, the benefit of the Upasana was Brahmaloka Prapti. You cannot say Nirguna Brahma Prapti. Okay, Nirguna Prapti is Mukti. And this is Upasana. Therefore, you have to say Brahmaloka Prapti. This is all previous section. Now, here it says Pancha Deva Sushihi. Now, Sushi means a door, a dwaram. Right? Now, Brahmaloka is supposed to be this place where you are going to go if you have done the Upasana properly. Right? And therefore, to enter a house, you should know the gates where the door is. Therefore, he's telling you where are the doors. So, Pancha Deva Sushihi. There are 5 doors to the Brahmalokas. Deva Sushihi, the doors to Devaloka, Brahmaloka. Now, whenever there is a gate, who is required? A gatekeeper is required. So, wherever there is a dwar palaka is required. And in Brahmaloka, for each of these gates, each of these dwars, there are 3 dwar palakas, all are devatas. Thus, we have seen that this Akasha, Hridaya Akasha is being visualized as Brahmaloka. So, Hridaya is being visualized as Brahmaloka. The Brahmaloka has 5 doors, Hridaya has 5 doors, and each door will have 3 Dwarapalakas. Right? Now, remember that if you want to enter a gate which has the guards in it, it is much simpler to enter the gate providing you are familiar with the guards. And therefore, when you go to meet Vishara, Shankara says you should first go and meet the guards, the Dwarpalakas. Why? So that Dwarpalakas don't create any problems for you and they welcome you. Therefore, this section is actually, though it is called Brahma Purusha Upasana, it is called, right? Not Brahma Upasana. Brahma Upasana was the previous section. This is Brahma Purusha Upasana. The Brahma Purusha is the Dwarpalaka. Now there's a lot of information here. So instead of going word by word, I'll simply give you uh, you know, the overall understanding like a chart. And later on, if you want, I have this chart somewhere. I'll dig it out and I will put it on the group for you for ease of understanding. Okay, now if you want to look at the essential meaning of all these mantras, we have to look at all the gates, right? And then we have to look at the Dwarpalakas, the 3 devatas each. And then you have to look at the Upasana type, which is to be done. And then we have to look at the Phalam. So the chart, if you are making, the top row will be gate, Dwarpalaka, type of Upasana, and benefit of Upasana, 4. And then the first line downwards, you will have the various gates. So let's go by that. So the first gate is Prang Sushihi. Sushihi means the gate. Prang means what? East. So eastern gate is the first one. Who are the Dwarapalakas? The mantra says Pranaha, Chakshuhu, Adityaha. What is the Upasana type? Tejaha, Annadi. So as the you are doing Upasana on these three devatas as the Tejaha, as the source of all power, of all energy, and Annam as the source of food also. Therefore, what is the phalam? Tejasvi Annado Bhavati. He gets plenty of energy and plenty of food also. Okay. That is the Prang Sushi, eastern gate. Then Dakshina Sushi, southern gate. The devatas are Vyana, Shrotram, and Chandrama. Vyana, Shrotram, Chandrama. The Upasana is Srihi as the source of wealth, Yashaha as the source of fame. And therefore, what do you get as benefit? Sriman Yashasvi Bhavati. He becomes wealthy and he becomes famous. The Upasaka, I mean. So Prag Sushi is over, Dakshina Sushi is over. Now Pratyang Sushi. Pratyang Sushi is the western gate. Western gate has three Dwarpalakas, Apana, Vak, and Agni. And you are going to do Upasana as what? Brahma Varchasam Annadyam Iti. Brahma Varchasam uh, is the glow of spirituality. Because the person who does Upasana has a glow about. So as the source of that glow of a spiritual personality. And Annadyam Iti. Annadyam is Annam and Iti, Adi also. Annadyam, Annam and Adi. Therefore, etc. means drink over here. So, source of this spiritual glory or spiritual energy and source of food and water or food and drink. And therefore, the phalam is what? Brahma Varchasya Annado Bhavati. He gets plenty of Brahma Varchasam as well as plenty of food. Then the next one is Udang Shashihi, the northern gate. Northern gate has three devatas again. Apana is there, Samana Devata, Manaha, and Parjanya, rain Devata. And what is uh, the Upasana for Kirtim Vyushti Iti as the source of all fame? Right? Vyushti, and Vyushti means in your absence, somebody is glorifying you. So there are two types of fame. Paroksha fame, somebody glorifying in your absence, and Vyushti, Pratyaksha fame, they glorify in your presence. They will all glorify you in your presence. And therefore, what happens? Kirtiman, Vyushtiman, Bhavati. So, Kirti can be taken as singing your praises when not there. Vyushti can be taken as singing your praises when you are there. So, they glorify you when you are there and when you are not there also. And then Urdhvam Sushihi. Urdhvam is the upper gate. Here three devatas are there. Udana, Vayu, Akashaha. And the, the Upasana is as Ojasmaha, as a source of great ojas and strength, great energy and strength. And the benefit is what? Ojasvi Mahasva Bhavati. Okay. These are all individual phalams, right? Now, when you take them as a whole, as Samashti Upasana, then the phalam is mentioned in the sixth mantra. He will have children who are very virtuous. And Shankara in his commentary says that this Dwarpala Upasana cannot be a independent Upasana. Why? Because they are the gates to Brahmaloka. Therefore, this is Dwarpala Upasana as an Angam of the Gayatri Brahma Upasana mentioned earlier. The Gayatri Brahma Upasana is the Angi Upasana, and the Dwarpala Upasana, or Brahma Purusha Upasana, is the Angam Upasana. Okay. All very heavy in terms of rituals. So we'll stop here. If you have any questions, please put them in the group and I can answer. Okay. But I would like you to go over this again and again because you will need these references when you come to Brahma Sutras. At least we should know where they have come. Yeah, tell me.
So when we say mantra upasana means that particular mantra is chanted several times, all the lines are repeatedly spoken out, or?
No. You are doing upasana in the description given in the mantra. Like in this case, I told you, the upasana is the source of power.
Because we think of mantra as a few words which we keep on repeating. So this is like
Mantra
a
is
big
telling you what to
description.
do.
Okay.
So remember, I mean, this is all descriptions, but if you really want to do the upasana, you should learn from a person who is doing karma kanda properly. You can't learn from this Upanishad. Upanishad is telling you what is the source of the upasana. It's not describing the upasana to you. It's not laying down how the upasana is being done. That is karma kanda portion only. That's not here.
So is it being practically done, sir, in all the pujas and all these things?
I doubt very much. Mostly we do Puranic upasanas. These are all Vedic upasanas. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Tat Sat Om Namah Shivaya. Thank you for your patience.
Thank you, Acharya.